Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Imaginary Engineering. This is Kirti. In this video, we are going to build a Spring Boot project using the MongoDB database. And then we will see how we can handle the custom exception. So first, let's start with this spring.io. I have choose the language Java, project Maven, Spring Boot version 3.4.0. I will recommend don't choose this snapshot version because this is currently under development. Then project group, let's say boot store, then dim artifact name, let's say Spring Boot Mongo. Spring Boot Mongo. Then name, description, package name. So com.bookstore it's fine. Package in jar and then Java version I will choose 21. Then add dependency. So let's add dependency one by one. First I will go Spring Boot. So this provide the embedded Tomcat server. Second one I will add the dev tool. So whenever we make some changes in our code, our app will be pre-run. Then I will add the Lombok. So this will help you reduce the boilerplate code. Provide the getter setter methods. Then fourth, I will add the MongoDB to connect our application with MongoDB database. Spring data MongoDB. So here I have added all the dependency. Click on generate. It will generate the GIF file. So I will open this in my IDE. I am using the IntelliJ. Here I have opened the project in my IDE. First I will go to this form.xml, see what are the dependencies that we have included. Data, MongoDB, then starter web, DevTools. We included all the dependencies. Then I will go to this src folder and inside the main we have the resources, and then we go to this application.properties. We will set the application configuration here. First I will show you this MongoDB compass and localhost 27017 MongoDB is running on. Here we have the connection string. So first I will copy this connection string from here. Go here, then add the string dot data dot MongoDB dot URI equal to and paste that connection string and we store our database name. So MongoDB // localhost 27017 and bookstore is our database. Then I will go to this Java. Here we have this class Spring Boot MongoDB application. Then at first I will go and create the packages that is required. First I will create the entity package to store the entity class. Then next package I will include is controller. This controller layer receive the request from the client. Then next package I will include is a service. This service layer for the business logic where we write all our business logic. Next package is a repository. This repository layer provide all the database related operation. And then first I will go to this entity package and we will create the entity. Java class, let's name it book. This is our book class. In MongoDB is a NoSQL database. Here we store the data in a document. Instead of table, here we have the collections. So I will add the annotation document and we can give the collection name. So collection, I will say books. Then I will add the fields. I want the ID. MongoDB generate the ID automatically. Private string book name. Then I want the author name. Then book description. Then I want the book price. and this ID field is our ID that MongoDB generate. So let's add a annotation ID. Also for the getter setter method, we will add the annotation. Sorry, getter from the lombok. Then we have the setter annotation for the setter method. Then we have the annotation all argument constructor for the parameterized constructor, no argument constructor for the default constructor. So let me import this ID. Here this is our entity class is ready. Then I will go to this repository. Here we will create the new class. This is the interface. Let's say book repository. This interface will extend the Mongo repository. In this Mongo repository, we will pass the our entity and type of ID. Type of ID is string. Here we see ID type is string. Then our book repository is done. Here it's depend on you. If you don't want to provide that repository annotation here, it's fine because this Mongo repository internally extend that annotation repository. So here if you don't provide this, it will be fine. Let me remove this annotation. Now next we'll go to this service and we will create the book service. Not class, I want to create the interface. That's okay, I will change this here. Interface, okay, this is the book service interface. Now next here I will add the method signature. First is register book, register new book. It will receive the new book object and return the, let me import this book, and this will return the new book that is added. Then next method for the get all books, don't receive any parameter, it will return the list of book. Let me import this list. Next method get a book by ID, and we will pass the ID as a parameter, and this method will return the book. Then next method for update book, and this method receive the string ID and book object updated book, and this method return the updated book value. Then another one for the next method is a delete book, and it receive the ID as a parameter and not return any value. So these are the method for the book service we are going to implement. Then I will create the new class. Let's name it book service IMPL, book service implementation class. Now first I will provide the annotation service to indicate this is our service class, and this implement the interface book service. Now I will implement all the method that we have created in our book service interface. Here I have implement all the method. Let's start with this register new book. So first we need the object of this book repo. So let's annotate this book repository. Book repository, provide the annotation auto add. Then here I will return this return statement. I will remove that, and here I will simply return the book repository dot save method to save the new object in database book. That's it. But before we save, first we will check if that book is already present or not. So for that I will use one method. So let's go to this book repository, and here I will create one method to check if that book is exist or not. Exist by name. Here we check if that book is already exist or not. String name, and it will return the boolean value. So boolean value, it will return exists by name. This method, we don't need to implement this method. Spring Data MongoDB, it will provide the query for this method, so we don't need to implement that method. We just use it in our book service implementation. So here I will use that method, book repository dot exist by name. We will pass the book name, get name method, return the book name, and we will check if that book is exist. We'll check is exist. If condition, if book is exist, we will throw the new exception. So throw new runtime exception, book is already exist, or else we will return the book repository dot save. We will store that new book into the database. So here we throw the runtime exception. So instead of that, what we will do, I will create the custom exception. So let's create a new package for our custom exception. Inside that exception, I will create a new Java class, exception, which extends runtime exception. This required the constructor. So I will generate the constructor. This parameterized constructor I will use. It will receive the message and use the super method to pass that message to the parent constructor. And then I will define some methods to return the string and book already exists. Okay, this book already exists. Receive the book name, and return the string book with name is already exist. Also I will define another method, public static return the string book is not found. If book is not found, then we will throw this exception. Book is not found. This will receive the book ID and then return the string book is book with ID is not found. So we are done. This is our book exception. I will go back to this book implementation, and instead of this run type exception, we will throw our book exception. We will call this book exception heavy method. Book already exists, and pass the book name. Then we are done here. So basically, so here we register the book. Now we go to this controller and we create the book controller. So new Java class, let me call it book controller, add a annotation, rest controller, and also I will add a annotation request mapping add path book slash API. So our API start with slash book slash API. So create the post method, public, return the book, add new book, receive the, let me import the this class book class here, and this is our post method, shift post mapping, then add the request body, book object, and we need the object of book service. So book service, and add a annotation for that auto add. Now we can use that book service. This book service have the method register book, and we will pass that new book that user has passed in request body. Let me return this return. Now we are done. So let's check this post mapping API. Go to the postman. Here I will create the new collection. Go to the collection. Let's say book store API. So this is our bookstore API, and at the new our app is running. First let me run the app. I forgot to run. So first let me run the app. Enable annotation. Okay. Our app is running on Tomcat port 8080. So let's go here at the annotation. Here http localhost 8080 book slash API. Choose the host method. Header raw JSON. I will pass the name, book name. Let's say XYZ. I will randomly add anything. Then description. Then I will add the price. I think that's fine. Let me click on the send. Here we get the response 200, and this ID is automatically generated, you can see. And now if I go to our MongoDB Compass, let me refresh this database. Here new database has been created, and inside that you can see the one entry with the book name is XYZ. So let me go back and I will click on the send again. So I will get an error because that book is already exists. So here you can see the internal server error. Here we get with the message book with the name XYZ is already exists. So we can handle this error using the try catch block. Here I can use the try catch block and handle that exception that we have thrown. But I need to use that try catch block in every method. So instead of that, we will handle the exception globally. We will catch the exception and handle it globally. So for that, I will create the exception folder. I will create a new class for the global exception handler. So let's create a global exception handler class, and for the notation controller advice. Inside that class we will handle the exception. So public return the response entity, sorry spelling mistake, response entity, type is string, and I will give the class name, let's say handler book exception. It receive the book exception object and return the new response entity v dot get message. It will return the message that we have thrown, and then http status. I want the bad request. We'll send the 400 bad request. And here we need to add another annotation exception handler to handle this exception and provide our class book exception class. And we can add any number of exception here. I will add another exception handler public response entity string. This will be our exception method. This handle the exception class. Then exception will be new response entity. B dot get message, return the response. Status code, I will say internal. Let me add HTTP status dot internal server error and provide the annotation here. This is handle the exception class. So we are done with this global exception handler. So now we have added this, so we don't need to handle the every exception using the try catch. If I go back, let me rerun this first and then we will check. Here I'm getting the internal server error. If I click on that, this book is already exist. So I will get the error. Here you can see 400 bad request book with the name XYZ is already exist. So let's go back to our VS Code and book service implementation. Let's implement all other methods. Book repository dot find all. It will return the all the books which are available. So this will be the list of books. Then get book by ID. Book repository dot we have the method find by ID. It will take the ID as a parameter, and if that ID is not available, so we will say or else throw, we will throw the our custom exception here. New book exception and ID. Book exception dot we have the method book is not found and it will take the ID as a parameter. Then we will throw the ID here. If we go at our postman here, I will add the first let me go to the MongoDB. Here I will copy this ID from here. Let me copy this ID, go to the postman, add the ID. Oh, we haven't created the method yet, so let's go to the controller and create the method first. Public, it return the list of book, get all books and return call the method service. We have the method get all books and this will be our get mapping. Then next I will copy this and paste in this get mapping. We will provide the ID. Let me change this method name get book by ID. It received the ID, so use the path variable to extract the ID from URL. Return the book. It will return the book by ID and function. We have the get book by ID and pass the ID here. So we are done. So here we have implemented get all books and get book by ID method. So let's go to our postman. First I will copy again that ID. Here I will copy the ID paste it here, choose the method get, click on send. It will return the 500 internal server error, no static resources. We rerun this application once, then we will check. Now our application runs successfully. Click on send. Here we go, it's working. Now this cake will return all the books which are available, and then I will pass this ID in URL. Let me copy this ID and then I will pass. Copy this ID and here I will pass this ID in URL. Click on send. It will return the book by that particular ID. So everything is working, and if that ID is incorrect, then and click on send, it will say book with the ID is not found. 400 back request, everything is fine. So let's go back. Then I will implement the other methods, update book and then delete. So update book, we will remove this. First we will check if the book with that ID is available or not. For that I will call the getBookID method and pass the ID. It will throw the error if that book is not available. Book with that ID is not available, it will throw the error. Now here we get the book, then we will update the book details, book author. If user pass the book author in body, so book dot get author, it will return the author name is not equal to null. That means user has passed the book, so we will set the updated one. Otherwise, we will just keep the existing one. Same I will do for the name. Set name. We will check if book.getName is available or not, equal to null. Otherwise, if it is not equal to null, that means user has sent the book name. If user not sent, then we will keep it existing one. Then let's update the description also. Set description. Then first we check if user has passed that book description or not. If user has passed, book description is not equal to null, then we will set the book description. Otherwise, we will just keep the existing one. Then next we will set the price. Check book price. If it is not equal to null, then we will get the updated one. Otherwise, we will set the existing one. All the things are done. Then we will save this new object in database. So book repository, we call the save method and pass the object B, book object B. And then we will return, here I'm going to return the updated book object. So this is the updated book method. Next we have the delete book. First here also we will check if that book is exist or not. So for that we have the method getBookID. It will return the book ID by book by ID, and if that book is not present, then it will throw the book exception. Once we get the book entity, we will call the delete method. Here you can see we have the multiple method: delete by ID, delete all by ID. Here I go with the delete. It will take the book entity as an parameter. I will pass the book entity parameter. So now then I will go to the book controller. To create the method put method. It will return the book and update book. Put method, this will be our put method. So adding the put mapping annotation. Path variable, it will be extract the ID from the path. So Let me add the ID in path, then path variable, string ID, and we pass the updated one in request body. Import the book object, the capital. Now we call the method. We have the update book method. We'll pass the ID and book. Now next method, let me add the return. Now next method is delete. So add the delete mapping, public return void delete book, which I will it will take the ID as a parameter. So I will use the annotation request para. Here request para to fetch the string from the URL ID. Then I will call the method we have created delete book and it receive the ID as a parameter. Now we are done. Let's go to our postman. We'll remove that ID, click on send. Here is our book object. I will copy this ID. I will paste it here. Choose the method post. Currently name is XYZ. I will write the another name. Atomic habits. Then description, author is null. I don't know the author name, but I will add something. Author. It's okay. X. Price I will change. Let's say 534. Description I will say it's a nice book. Okay, and click on send. Our request post is not okay. Not post. It is a put method, and click on send. Okay, let me go back. Controller. Put mapping ID we have passed, path, request body. Let me rerun the application once. Application is running on port 880, so let's go back. Click on send. I hope it's run. Yeah. Now name has been updated. Description, author is also updated. Description, price. Yeah. Everything is working fine. Now I want to delete this book. So what I will do, I will change the delete. And for the delete method, we have added the parameter in our URL query parameter ID equal to our book ID. If you see in params, here we pass the query parameter ID and its value. Now I will click on the send 200. Okay. If I go back to our database and refresh that database, here is no data, means that book has been deleted. If I go try to get that book, click on send. Here get the let me change this. Yeah. Now click on send. Here get the bad request. Book with the ID is not found. So everything is working fine. I hope you like this video. In this video, we have seen how we can use the MongoDB database with the Spring Boot, and also we see how we can handle the custom exception. So this is all for this video. If you guys like this and learn something new, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Imaginary Engineering. Thank you for watching.